It tells me in Ephesians chapter 2 verse 4. Chapter 2 verse 4. That I love this verse. If you can actually work this verse into your daily life and work it into the very inner parts of your spirit and also your mind, it could change something if you need to change something, okay? Let's read the verse. But God, so Paul, he writes this, he's just saying, but God, like, right, I've headed it up. But God, he says. Now you know, I've got God in your mind. Now he actually says what he's saying. So rich is he in his mercy. And because of, in order to satisfy the great and wonderful, intense love with which he loved us. That's a mouthful. To satisfy the great and wonderful, intense love with which he loved us. But in order to satisfy that, God is first of all merciful to us on the cross. That's where his mercy lay. It was there that he got the mercy thing happen for you and I. Otherwise, to be honest, if that hadn't happened, you and I would probably be fighting each other like it's happened on the other side of the world. We would probably be so lost, so devoid of anything, so devoid of love, that the world would have been a mess. I'm sure of that, totally. I'm sure that Jesus on the cross tempered the world to make it not as bad as it could have been. That was God's mercy to human beings. And because of, and in order to satisfy, how do you get satisfied? Satisfied. You know, when you have a good meal, and you finish it, you feel satisfied. Is that right? There's something happens. You're different than before you had it. Yeah. I mean, that's a good picture there. At the end of that meal, you are different to when before you had it. And God, I believe that God created the human race because he couldn't satisfy his love any other way. I'm sure that was to satisfy his love. Because the Bible says that God is love. Okay? So if he's love, you need something to love, don't you? You know that when we're doubting, not doubting our spouses, but that's wrong, isn't it? Dating our spouses, there was something there that needed to be satisfied. And that was love. There was a cry inside there to love somebody. That actually shows us that we are a God creation, because we are the spark, like a spark of God. And that thing is, and I actually ask, it's a good question. Somebody that doesn't believe in God, and you say to them, where does love come from? They haven't got an answer. There's only one place love came from, and that's God, because God is love. Anyway, so in order to satisfy this, he had to be merciful to us. And even when we were dead in shortcomings and sin, he made us alive. But I just want you to get this. He was merciful to us. And then in order to satisfy his great, wonderful and intense love, do you know how much God really loves you? I mean, just think about it. Intense love, it says. It actually says intense love. You know when you intensely love somebody? You know, you just feel like ringing up on the phone and saying, hi darling, I just love you. I love you. It's intense love. Love you. You know, I had that thought the other day. I was in a Macau. And you know what actually happened? Something happened and I never got the phone out and said it, you know. So a bit of a loser there. Anyway, I'll tell you that. But do you understand this? That you satisfy God's love. Can you actually, I mean, when I first started thinking that, I was thinking, boy, you God, that I'm satisfying your love? And does that give you a warm fuzzy? To think that you, everybody this room is satisfying God's love. Next time you have a bad time, next time that you actually lose the plot a little bit, or just don't go the way that you think that God would like you to, or you actually have some crazy thing you've said, or some crazy thing you've thought, just realise right in the middle of that you are still satisfying God's love. Do you think that would get you out of some of the sticky spots that you and I got into, else you're all totally perfect here? Do you think this would help to get you out of one of those? Come on. If you know that you are satisfying God's love. You know, I'm going to say something, and you've probably never said this before, and it's pretty good, so it's not dangerous, but I want you to understand this verse, that what is going on between you and God is that you are satisfying the love of God. So why don't we do a confession? I'll tell you what it is, and we'll do it together. Let's all say together. I satisfy God's intense love. I satisfy God's intense love. You ever said that before? How many have said it before? Not many, no, because I haven't either. But you know, saying, making a confession out of your mouth about something like that does something inside us. You're going to go away here from here to this morning and think, well, that guy up there said that I satisfied your love, God. Well, I'm just going to believe that I'm doing that. And it's going to actually adjust some things inside me that I've been trying to adjust. Because I now know that by the Bible I'm saying